We will now do an example where we compute the derivative of an exponential function. This example will be useful later in the course. Recall that our derivative at a point x is defined as the limit as delta x goes to 0 of f of x plus delta x minus f of x all over delta x. We will look at the function f of x equals 2 to the x at the point 1. To compute the derivative here, we need to find the limit as delta x goes to 0 of f of 1 plus delta x minus f of 1 all over delta x. Again, we will keep track of our findings for smaller and smaller delta x's using a table. In computing f of 1 plus delta x minus f of 1 all over delta x, we'll repeatedly use that f of 1 plus delta x is 2 to the 1 plus delta x minus f of 1, which is 2 to the 1, or 2. Now let's find an approximation for f prime of 1 when delta x equals 1. Our approximation is 2 to the 1 plus 1 minus 2 all over 1. Computing this, we simply get 2. So our first approximation of f prime of 1 is that it is 2. Now let's look when delta x equals 0.1. Computing our approximation here, we have 2 to the 1 plus 0.1 minus 2 all over 0.1. Computing this, we get 1.43547. So our next approximation of f prime of 1 is 1.43547. As we shrink delta x, we'll next look when delta x is 0.01. Here we compute our approximation as 2 to the 1.01 minus 2 all over 0.01, which comes out to 1.39111. So this is our next approximation of f prime of 1. Continuing on, we look at delta x equals 0.001. Here we approximate f prime of 1 as 2 to the 1 plus 0.001 minus 2 over 0.001, which comes to 1.38677. Notice as we add this to our list that our approximations are getting closer to each other. Now, let's look at delta x equals 0.0001. Here we compute our approximation as 2 to the 1 plus 0.0001 minus 2 all over 0.0001, which comes to 1.38634. Adding this to our list, we see that our last two approximations are the same to the first three decimal places. As we take delta x to 0, we next look when delta x is 0.000001. Here when we compute the approximation of our derivative, we get 1.38629, which is only slightly off from our last approximation. Let's compute one more with a very small value of delta x. We'll look at delta x equals 0.0000001. Using this tiny value of delta x, we get that f prime of 1 is roughly 1.38629, the same as our last approximation. So we can be confident that as we make delta x smaller and smaller, our approximation won't change in the first several decimal places. So our best approximation of f prime of 1 is 1.38629.